Welcome back. Let's take a look at some sports. Here's Barong Tony Uranta.
Thank you, Ijoma, and welcome to Sports News. Nigeria's Odunaya Adekuroye has become the first African woman to win a medal in the Wrestling World Championships in Paris, France. The 2014 Commonwealth Games champion lost 5-4 against Japan's Aruna Okono in the final of the women's 55 category to settle for a silver medal. However, it wasn't all smiles for Blessing Oboro-Dudu as she lost 8-7 to Colombia's Jacqueline Castillo in the bronze medal fight at the 63-kilogram category. And FIFA has appointed a normalization committee for the Cameroonian Football Association, Pt.4. This follows failed attempts by the body to reconcile the football stakeholders in the Cameroon and overcome the current impasse. The decision comes in connection with the verdict of the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, to annul the electoral process leading to the election of the current Pt.4 Executive Committee in 2015. And elsewhere, England's all-time leading goal scorer Wayne Rooney has retired from international football after turning down the chance to be part of the next squad for next month's World Cup qualifiers. The Everton striker was asked by England boss Gareth Southgate to be involved against Malta and Slovakia. The former Manchester United captain scored 53 times for 119 internationals. He made his major tournament debut as an 18-year-old at Euro 2004 and his last international appearance in last November's 3-0 victory over Scotland at Wembley. And Paris Saint-Germain forward Neymar will contest a legal action brought against him by a former club, Barcelona. Barcelona wants an €8.5 million renewal bonus Neymar received for signing a 5-year deal just 9 months before his move returned. However, the Brazil star seemed to suggest Barcelona owe him money following his new camp exit rather than the other way around. Tennis and 3-time Wimbledon champion Boris Becker has been appointed as head of men's tennis in his home country as the German Federation looks to revive the once hugely popular sport. In his new capacity, Becker will also be consulting Davis Cup players as well as all top German players. The former powerhouse looks to reduce the gap with strong tennis nations. He won 6 Grand Slams as a player and was also a former Davis Cup coach for Germany from 1997 to 1999, though he had an uneasy relationship with the federation. And finally, we end with motorsports, where ahead of his home race at Spa-Francorchamps, Formula One team McLaren have announced Belgian driver Stoffel Vandoorne will continue to race for the struggling former world champions next year. The newcomer has scored just 1 point so far this season, with McLaren struggling to get strong performances from their Honda engine. McLaren's other driver, Spain's double world champion Fernando Alonso, is yet to decide his future and wants to be assured of a competitive car before committing to McLaren. Well, that's it on Sports News for tonight. I'm Barong Tony Uranta, and Ijoma will be back with the rest.
Thanks a lot, Barong. Angolans are being encouraged to watch every step of the vote counting process following today's general election and to take pictures of everything they see in an effort to record fraud should it happen. Opposition activist Sergio Lopez gave the warning after he voted in the business district of the capital, Luanda. He said he felt there will not be much trouble if the counting of votes goes that way, because it will be all over WhatsApp if there were. Officials said voter turnout was more than 40%. 74-year-old Jose Eduardo dos Santos has been Angola's president since September 1979. And U.S. President Donald Trump has called for a new unity, a turnaround from his rhetoric at a rally in Phoenix on Tuesday. Speaking in Nevada, Trump said, "We are one people with one home and one great flag. It's time to heal the wounds that have divided us and to speak a new unity base on the common values that unite us." End of quote. It was certainly different from his campaign-style rally when he said he did not mind shutting down the government to build a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border.
It did seem like a rally all over again. President Donald Trump excited the crowd as he read excerpts from his first address on Charlottesville. Under fire for saying both sides were to blame for the violence between white supremacists and left-wing counter-protesters in Virginia on August the 12th, he accused television networks of ignoring his calls for unity in the aftermath.
You have some very good reporters, you have some very fair journalists, but for the most part, honestly, These are really, really dishonest people.
Then the president focused on the issue of immigration, promising to shut down the U.S. government, if required, to build a wall along the Mexico border.
Build that wall. Now, the obstructionist Democrats would like us not to do it, but believe me, if we have to close down our government, we're building that wall.
Trump reopened negotiations of the 1994 treaty out of concern that U.S. economic interests were suffering.
And former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton has referred to Donald Trump as, quote, a creep in her new book. Reading extracts from her forthcoming title, she said he made her skin crawl during one of the presidential debates last year and did not know how to react as they both took to the stage last October. The debate took place just days after a 2005 recording which publicized Mr. Trump bragging about groping women and getting away with it because of his status. After an uproar, he apologized and dismissed the conversation as locker room talk. She writes, "This is not okay, I thought. It was a second presidential debate and Donald Trump was looming behind me. 2 days before, the world heard him brag about groping women. Now we were on a small stage and no matter where I walked, he followed me closely, staring at me, making faces." End of quote. And the main news again. Labour leaders and other participants at a colloquium in Abuja today spoke on the need to protect the unity of Nigeria. But the discussion got rowdy after the former Edo State Governor Adams Oshomole alleged that promoters of restructuring were those who lost the 2015 elections. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Hunyato. Do have a good night.